just when an expert keeper like John behind us thinks he knows everything there is to know about his flock,
something comes along to properly ruffle his feathers.
Yes, John faces a huge challenge with a prehistoric creature related to the dinosaurs and a fearsome reputation.
Basically, two girls who could eat him alive.
And I can't wait to meet them, I think.
Oh, you will. But here's what's coming up on the rest of today's programme.
Rare red panda cub Ponya could help save her species.
Really, she should be developing now. She's getting behind.
But only if she survives a medical mystery.
Sometimes with congenital heart problems, though, they can have abnormal blood vessels, which can cause problems.
Watch out for Cecil the head-butting Cameroon ram. Especially if you're a cameraman.
Come on, Red! Good boy.
And how do you put a teenage tiger to bed
He is massive.
when he's a lot bigger than you?
Whoa, good tiger.
Behind the scenes in Animal Adventure, a high-security renovation project is underway.
Never a dull moment in this job.
Today, a brand new species will be arriving at the park. And for lead keeper John, it's a dream come true.
From growing up as a little boy, I've always been a bit of a dinosaur geek. So, yeah, to actually get the opportunity to work with them is incredibly exciting.
It's clearly not a dinosaur, but it is an animal that's been around since the time of the T-Rex.
Travelling down to the seaside to pick up a crocodile.
After 5 weeks of planning, the team have the rest of the day to get the new enclosure, including its 2-metre-high barrier, finished.
We started filling up the pool a couple of days ago. I think we're pretty rock and rolling, ready to go.
If all goes to plan, this enclosure will be home to 2 Cuban crocodiles in just 4.5 hours.
Cuban crocodiles, they're not a huge species. The two that we're getting are around the 2-metre mark, so big enough. But really highly intelligent animals and renowned for being one of the most aggressive species of crocodile.
Ah, sounds easy, John. What could possibly go wrong? Cuban crocodiles have over 60 teeth, are known to reach 3.5 metres, and can bite with enough force to crush bone. John's heading to Paynton Zoo to collect the aptly named Fang. He needs her crate to be like a fortress.
So this is our croc transportation box, beautifully constructed. Big enough, obviously, to transport, but you don't want the crocodile to be able to fully turn around, because the last thing you want at the other end is to open what you think is the tail end, and there's a set of teeth staring back at you. So, yeah, it's enough room for the short journey that she'll be taking with us.
The second croc to be making this swamp home is another girl called Ko. She's coming from Colchester Zoo on the other side of the country. Making sure the two arrive at the same time couldn't be more critical.
Crocodile species generally can be quite territorial. So the fact that we're bringing these two girls in from separate collections, they've never met each other. The science behind it is if they go into the enclosure at the same time, neither of them would have claimed the territory. So even if you do it 24 hours beforehand, the crocs had that amount of time to explore the area, claim their favourite parts, and you have issues.
Just a few hours could make all the difference. With extra bolts added, the Cuban croc couriers hit the road on schedule.
Next stop, Paynton.
The Cuban crocs will certainly strike a note of awe and fear in park visitors. But danger can come from the unlikeliest of creatures, even ones that go meh.
I have to confess that I am feeling a little bit nervous because I have been asked by Tina to come and meet 4 animals that I've never met before. And they have a somewhat fearsome reputation, despite the fact that they're sheep.
These bad boys have been wreaking havoc since they arrived late last year. I've had sheep at home for almost 10 years and barely had a moment's trouble from them. So I don't envy Tina, the keeper on a mission to get these horned hellraisers in line.
Tina.
Hello, Kate, you're right.
Hello. Well, I think so. Sheep with a fearsome reputation? Really?
They are a little bit on the wild side.
Okay.
They're young boys. They
Right.
like to, you know, show themselves. They like to
Well,
establish.
you say they like to show themselves. I can't even see them. Where are they?
They're hidden over there. We'll have to give them a shout. Come on, boys! Come
on then.
Come on, boys!
Wow. So what kind of sheep are they? I've never seen anything like them.
These are Cameroon sheep. They're from Africa, and they're actually
Wow.
one of the world's rarest sheep breeds.
Oh my goodness, they're
hello.
really beautiful. Look at you.
Hello, big man. We've got 4 boys in here,
Yeah.
all brothers. That was my finger. This is
Hello.
Cecil. What's
You're
this?
gorgeous. Well, I don't know whether they're fearsome, Tina. This one looks rather lovely.
We have worked with them very hard, trying to get them just to allow us into their space, but they're getting to the point where they're getting a bit too confident now, so we kind of have to teach them manners.
Right, okay. Shall I try and do a little bit of brushing while we're
Go for
here?
it. They love
I'm
it.
I'm a little bit smitten, I have to say. Ow! Suddenly, not so smitten. Yeah, that looked really painful.
This is the thing, it's kind of, you know, we were chatting and things like that, and it's him clearly showing that he's being
Saying,
impatient.
hang on a minute. Quite bratty behaviour,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
isn't it?
We don't want to run away from them. We don't want them to tell them that you get what you want. We don't want to show them that, you know, we're scared of you. It's about standing your ground.
I mean, is part of the problem, you said it's an all-male group. I mean, do you think you need some females in here?
It would be lovely to have, you know, little Cameroons running around, but this is a new species for us to learn about, and battery groups are a great way of doing that. These guys were brought up together so they're comfortable living to one another. Bringing in a new female would probably create tension, and it would
Right.
probably mean they would start
They would start
going-
fighting,
exactly.
presumably, wouldn't they?
So you don't do it. Enough. No.
You are a little beggar, aren't you?
Everyone needs to love you, and you just need to stop, okay? He does this, he sort of like goes behind, rears up, and he's so
He's
naughty.
saying-
Cecil, don't do that! I am so sorry. So sorry.
All 4 sheep together must be absolute mayhem. Young Cecil's creating enough chaos all by himself.
You're a monster, but you're a very sweet monster. There's not many of you left, and Tina might get rid of you if you're not good. And if he doesn't calm down, if he doesn't behave, what would you have to do you think?
Remove his testicles.
Are you listening? Are you listening? But it does make a huge difference, doesn't it? I mean, I know that with rams at home, when they get
Boisterous, yeah,
a
too
bit
much.
boisterous to people and to other sheep,
Yeah.
that is the thing,
I mean,
isn't it?
that is a route we can go down, and it's what we will discuss with the vets.
Well, Cecil, you have been warned. What do you think?
He looks, but he's kind of staring at me right now.
He is staring at you. I'm kind of worried about letting go of this horn. Should we just, 1, 2, 3, run?
Well, go apologise to the cameraman now.
We should point out that no humans were injured in the course of filming. Not seriously, anyway. But our cameraman has sworn off lamb for a while.
Head keeper John has headed south to pick up one of the 2 new Cuban crocodiles from Paynton Zoo. Keeper Luke has been looking after Fang for 2 years and is getting her ready to load.
The keeper team just sit on her, grab hold of her, and that just holds her nice and still, and then the crocodiles stop resisting. We tape up the mouth to make her nice and safe, and then we just leave her to settle, as you can see. With their eyes covered, they pretty much just go into rest until we're ready to release her at the other end.
Time is of the essence. As John prepares the crate, Fang's keepers must work as a team to securely transfer the 50-kilo crocodilian.
We want a nice, safe lift. Remember your hand positions. 1, 2, 3. What we're going to do is place her down. We'll turn around. Lauren, you're going to come up onto your knees, but keep pressure on the head.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to spin her around.
Watch out, Brad.
Get on it, on it.
On it.
Rob, get on it.
All okay?
Let me just cover her eyes.
I'll just pull it a bit. Hold it a second, nice and calm.
Do you push the button?
That's a leg coming through now, I think. Right, guys, watch the crash. That's a piece. Get the door ready on the crate. Second door, hands out of the way. Excellent.
As my first ever crocodile catch-up, I was a more than happy bystander.
With Fang content in her box, stage 1 of the transfer is complete.
Marvellous. Yes. Could not have gone better. Really, really, really slick. Who knows what's going to happen at the other end?
The other croc is already en route. John has 100 miles ahead of him. One hitch on the road, one delay, and these two new crocs could be sworn and vicious enemies.
You can see how strong she is.
Yes.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Over at Monkey Temple, two of the cutest and rarest cubs in the world are emerging for their dinner. Meet Lakshmi, the red panda, and her sister Ponya. Born last summer, the cubs' arrival was a huge boost for the survival of their species. Red panda numbers in Central Asia have collapsed because of climate change, deforestation, and poaching. Less than 10,000 remain in the wild.
The parents are both 6 and 7 years old, and our two cubs are nearly 7 months old. Pandas do occasionally cub into twins. They can actually have a full litter, anywhere up to 4 to 6 individuals, but most of the time it's single or twins.
The health and well-being of these two cubs is crucial. They're due to join a vital international breeding programme in Ireland. But head keeper Nick is anxious about little Ponya.
The cubs should be looking very similar to mum now, and only one of them is. Lakshmi is a lot larger than Ponya. Not necessarily an issue straight off the bat. Obviously, we wanted to see how they developed and grow it. The girls should be around sort of 4 kilos. Lakshmi is pretty much there. She's actually slightly heavier. She's actually probably the largest of our panda cubs so far. Ponya, on the other hand, she's nearly half the size of her sister. She's about 2.5 kilos, and really she should be developing now. She's getting behind in her weight scale.
If Ponya doesn't put on weight, she can't travel with her sister to Ireland, a disaster for the breeding programme. She's a picky eater and turns up her nose at the nutrient-rich alfalfa balls that make up 2/3 of the diet Nick gives them.
She's very inquisitive, always wants to check out what you've got, but in reality, she should be inquisitive enough to stop and actually then try some of the food. She only wants bamboo. The reality is she might still be weaning as she is very slow to develop, but again, she should be trying some of the other foods. Again, she has that stage of life where she does need to develop more and eat more in order to grow better as a panda.
Given Ponya's rarity, Head of Animal Adventure Graham is worried her picky eating could be linked to something more worrying.
We've got a duty of care to her. She can't tell us if something's not right. So we sort of have to look at what she's eating, how she's behaving, how she's growing in relation to her twin sister. She isn't part of the breeding programme, so she will go on to another collection and hopefully have cubs of her own in the future. And we want to make sure that if she does have an issue, that we're not passing that on through the lineage through to any other pandas. So it's really important that the healthiest animals breed, and if there's something that we can do to help her, then we should.
So to vary her diet and hopefully pile on those much-needed pounds, Keeper Sam is trying something new, mixing fruit and veg into Ponya's favourite bamboo.
We've got a few different things to try. She loves bamboo, so we're going to try maybe like a bamboo paste with the idea that if she'll eat that, perhaps we can hide some other bits of food in it and slowly get her onto something else. We've got some bamboo with banana, which is really nice and sweet. A normal panda would wolf that down really quickly. And then we've got some sweet potato, because her sister loves sweet potatoes, so we've blended a bit of that. And fingers crossed, one of them takes her fancy.
But will this picky eater take the bamboo smoothie bait?
Would you like to try some of this? What's this? It's bamboo. Did you like it? No, doing her best to ignore me. So we'll give her a quick go with the banana. What have we got? Banana mush. Is that a no? No? Not keen? Let's try some of this. No, I'm not having much luck today.
While she remains underweight, her chances of joining the breeding programme go down, while her chances of falling prey to illness increase.
We do need her to start growing a little bit. So it is important that we do try new things, but in the meantime, at least we do know she likes bamboo. So she does have a food source that she will eat really well. It's just trying to kind of widen that out to something else, which is the plan.
No one wants Ponya's chance to help save her species be scuppered. The worry is her slow growth could be concealing a more troubling health issue, which means she'll need to be examined under general anaesthetic at the vets. But is this little cub big enough for that journey?
In a safari park filled with hundreds of animals, you're bound to have one or two noisy neighbours. And Jean's joining keeper Rachel to meet two who have all the alarm bells ringing.
I've come along with a treat for two of my favourite old boys, Dave and Alf. Our two timber wolves, and this is a whole new enclosure for them.
Yeah, so this is their retirement paddock, so they are old boys. They're 12 years old this year, so they have moved from their home in Wolfwood to this retirement paddock. Stress-free environment for them.
Well, I've brought a little treat for them today.
Yes, you have.
Mackerel is their favourite, so...
Just chuck it out and then they'll use their excellent sense of smell to find it. So if the conditions are right, they can actually smell their prey from up to a mile away.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Why is fish their favourite treat?
So they are opportunistic hunters, so they'll eat anything that they come across, really. But the reason we give them fish, because it's a really good supplement for them, so it keeps their joints going nice and strong.
Now, I've heard them in the wild being referred to as eco-warriors of the wild.
Yeah, so these guys in the wild, they would hunt a certain species and that just to maintain the population, just so it doesn't overpopulate. And it just keeps the biodiversity high. So wherever there are wolves, you know, there's going to be a high biodiversity in the wild.
So they're really important, aren't they?
Very important, yeah.
So why does a wolf actually howl?
So wolves will howl for territorial reasons, so that will be to let another pack know this is my territory, stay away, or it can be for communication within the pack. So it will rally the pack up, ready for a hunt.
And I know that there's an alarm that goes off here that can set them off. What's it about the alarm that makes them start howling?
Yeah, so the house tests their fire alarm at 9:30 every Friday, and it's an old air raid siren, and it's actually at the same frequency that these guys howl, which then sets them off. So they might see it as a bit of a threat maybe, and like trying to mark their territory by howling back.
What about the European neighbours?
So the European neighbours will hear the timbers howling and then howl back. So there's a little bit of rivalry between them. They've definitely heard it.
He's came to life. Here comes the Europeans. So they're actually talking to each other.
They're communicating, they're claiming their territory.
Oh, that was absolutely amazing. Now, the Europeans did give it a good try with their howls,
they
but
did, yeah.
these two are just phenomenal. There's definitely life in these old dogs yet.
Oh, of course.
Well done, boys.
Over on the other side of the park, little Ponya, the rare but underweight red panda cub, must go to the vets for a thorough examination.
Hello, are you ready?
Ponya is vital for an international breeding programme which could help save her species, but only if she's in tip-top health. But to pass the medical checks, she'll have to undergo a general anaesthetic, and Head of Animal Adventure Graham knows the dangers involved for such a small animal.
kind of three scenarios whenever we give an animal to the vets. One is it comes back nice and healthy, nothing wrong, and all clear samples. The other one is that they have some problems under the anaesthetic, so that might be that the anaesthetic causes something to flare up, or that she stops breathing, or she has a reaction to the medication. And the worst case scenario is that they find something that it might not be worth reviving her from the anaesthetic, so that if there is something serious like a brain tumour or something is bleeding or rotting inside, then sometimes we may have to take a phone call that says, is it worth bringing around again? You know, we can't fix this. So the vet team will always be prepared for the worst.
And Sam, one of Ponya's main keepers, is just as uneasy.
It's really nerve-wracking to take her in. Obviously, she's a little bit on the small side, so that kind of gives a few increased risks for any kind of anaesthetic or procedure. But obviously our vets are great, we trust them, so fingers crossed she's going to come out the other side just fine.
Oh, I know, it's a bit scary.
She's just having a bit of a look. Obviously she hasn't been in a van before, so that's going to have been a little bit of a strange experience for her, I expect. Come on, sweetheart, let's go.
Ponya weighs a third less than her ideal weight. Vet Abby will try to get to the bottom of why she is so small.
So the plan today, I think, we'll get some survey radiographs of her, so x-rays of her chest and her abdomen, and then we'll probably take some bloods as well, just to kind of look for any underlying medical cause of the reason why she's not growing so well.
Take good care of her.
Yes, we will.
Putting any animal under general anaesthetic is always a last resort, but it's essential the keepers find out if there's a medical reason for Ponya's lack of growth.
X-rays.
This little cub is vital to the future of the red panda.
It's really hard leaving her in there. I'm feeling really nervous. Waiting's always the worst part. Just to hear that she's safely gone off to sleep and then safely comes round again are the two most important bits. Just have a look at it.
With Ponya fully under, Vet Abby can begin her examination.
Obviously a reason that she may not be eating could be due to dental disease, but it all looks lovely in there. No inflammation of the gums at all, no ulceration in the mouth. I'll just have a little listen to her heart. So there's definitely a bit of added pressure with the procedure being such an endangered species. So making sure we do what we can to keep her safe. That all sounds fine. Can't hear a murmur or anything there. Sometimes with congenital heart problems though, they can have abnormal blood vessels which can cause problems, so you don't necessarily hear anything just by listening. But the chest x-rays should tell us a bit more about that.
With no immediate signs of trouble, Abby takes blood tests to check Ponya's hormone levels and for any infections or parasites. After almost an hour, Abby can admit Sam back into the consulting room.
Hi, do you want to come back down? So we've still got her asleep at the moment.
It'll be a few days before the blood tests reveal anything conclusive. But right now, everyone's anxious as they wait for Ponya to come round in her box.
So obviously there are risks with any anaesthetic procedure, especially if there's an underlying problem going on. So it's always a bit of a worrying moment, waiting for them to wake. Hello?
You're okay. You're all right.
Ponya's wobbling, but at least she's awake.
She's clearly still very sleepy, bless her. And I don't think this is quite where she was expecting to wake up. It's definitely a relief to see her up, even though she looks a little bit drunk at the moment, bless her. We'll just get her home and get her eating, and then we can all kind of relax a little bit.
This little cub could have a big future, helping to save her species, but only if she thrives. Will the blood tests finally solve the mystery?
The park's keepers have been getting their teeth stuck into the new enclosure for two of the most fearsome crocs in the world. The crocodile's new home is ready, but are the keepers? From across the park, keepers are gathering at the new enclosure. After 2 hours on the road, John has arrived with Cuban croc Fang, accompanied by expert Luke.
Oh wow, it looks great.
The plan is coming together. KO, the second croc, is on schedule too. Just a few final checks on the new enclosure before the newcomers can be released.
Tell me they don't climb. Yeah.
These crocs are a first for the park.
I don't quite know how to explain how I'm feeling at the moment. It's probably a combination of terror and excitement. Yeah, an incredible feeling. I just can't wait to see them both in here now. If you think I'm excited, you can see the team as well, who I think are just as excited to me to see our new 2 residents move in.
With only 4,000 still surviving in the wild, Cuban crocs are a rare sight. The team are going to have their hands full with this notoriously aggressive species.
We've been locked in. Did you lock us in? That is the only time they're allowed to lock me in here. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Now to the serious business. Releasing the crocs. Feisty Fang, 50 kilos and 28 years old, will be the first to make her debut.
Yeah, the head's right by your face.
Oh, she's curled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's curled. Sort of expecting that one just to kind of come out like a bullet, really.
She's capable of 20 miles per hour at a sprint. The team need to know their exit routes.
If she shoots out, Tom, you guys exit that way, we'll go further back, yeah?
Luke lassoes Fang and covers her eyes to keep her calm.
Ready? Jump. And you.
A keeper sits on her back, the safest place. Claws and a muscled tail are both capable of inflicting serious injury. John will be removing the tape that's keeping Fang's lethal mouth closed.
Have you ever jumped a crocodile before?
No.
So what we're trying to do is, what you want to do is aim for it all in one movement. You don't want to hesitate, stop and look at the hand placement. You've got to go down. What you want is your knees where Tom's are, so they want to land just behind the front legs.
Yeah, your fingers in there. It's a bone.
Okay.
So basically it goes in. Grab hold of that bone like that.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Yeah, perfect.
A croc's jaws can be held shut relatively easily, but once open, their bite is 50 times more powerful than a human. John doesn't want to get caught in that crocodile smile.
To actually be this close to her is incredible. I mean, straight away the teeth, being able to see the teeth that close and the claws and just the feel. You almost expect them to be quite armoured and hard and tough, but it's surprisingly quite soft and it feels quite delicate. So this is invaluable. Being able to get this sort of contact and this close to an animal, yeah, I feel extremely privileged.
These are a relatively small crocodile and you can feel the power.
Yeah, just incredible feeling. I can actually feel her breathing on my face. It's another day at the office, isn't it? Being breathed on by a crocodile.
As soon as the tape's removed, the keepers will need to retreat as fast as possible.
Right, Chris, are you ready?
Yes, ready.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Right. And now.
Incredible. Yeah, a heart absolutely pounding. Just one incredible moment after another. So just to feel that power, as soon as that first piece of tape came off, you just felt her go. So just, if I didn't have respect for them at the start of the day, it's just another level. She's almost taking it all in now, having a good look around. So that's one down.
Next to take centre stage, KO.
To have 2 in there as well is going to be incredible. Potential for a little bit of bickering between them. We just need to see how the interaction is between them. She is going in the water now. Gone.
With Fang clearly making herself at home, the team need to act fast. If Fang gets territorial, she could rip into KO. Cubans are even known to be cannibalistic.
You ready?
Good.
You ready? I'm going to remove this one. Hold it there, hold it there. Come on, missus.
KO enters Fang's swamp.
Both in. Both know each other are there. Fang's just bobbing around in the water here. When animals don't do anything, is worrying is when they do something. So Yeah, I think at the moment there was no explosive introductions to each other.
It's really early days and we're going to have to see how these pair get along, but, you know, so far so good. I'm really pleased.
All the meticulous planning seems to have paid off.
We were all on tenterhooks a little bit waiting for it to explode and something to happen, but yeah, I could not have asked for more. Today has been absolutely incredible. I mean, I sat on the back of a crocodile. I sat on the back of a crocodile. If you'd said that to me at 7 o'clock this morning, I wouldn't have believed you. Over the moon, absolutely, yeah. Like a little boy on Christmas Day. This is where the day-to-day stuff sort of starts now. This is when, yeah, day one. You start to learn about the animals more and feeding and behaviour, so work's only really just begun.
Time will tell if the two crocs get on.
Last year, a pair of rare Amur tigers reached Longleat to begin a new breeding programme. Jana from Sweden, and from Norway, her hopeful mate, Red, who wasn't a happy Tigger on his arrival.
He's shaking quite a lot. He looks really groggy in the eyes.
My gut instinct is he's exhausted.
But all Red needed was a tiger's 40 winks.
He's definitely a lot more alert, his head's up, his eyes are definitely a lot more with it and focusing, so having that nice sleep really helped him. Hello, big man.
At 4 years old, Red is still an adolescent, so Jean's about to discover how do you get a teenage Red to bed.
It's bedtime here at the Tiger House and I'm super excited because, Matt, I finally get to meet Red.
Finally get to meet the big man later.
Right, what is this for?
So this is just a little top-up on their bed,
okay.
Just to make it nice and cosy just before bedtime.
Okay. So you want this all in one area or spread it about a bit?
All in this corner.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll spread it out, make it nice and even.
Okay. I keep hearing how big Red is. How much does he weigh?
Well, when he came to us, he weighed shy of 200 kilos, but we think he's definitely done some growing since then, and he definitely surpasses that now.
That looks like a comfy bed to me, Matt.
Does look pretty comfy to me, yeah.
Should we get him in?
Yeah, let's go get the big man in.
Come on, Red!
Good boy.
Matt, he is absolutely massive.
He's humongous, isn't he?
Majestic. Come on, big guy.
Good boy.
In you come. Just seeing him up close, Matt, is mind-blowing. Look at that, look at the size of you. Can we feed him some of this?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm going to let you do it first.
Well, we'll do it
Should
first.
we be able to do it safely?
Let's do it safely, nice and easy.
Very
He's actually,
red.
for a big boy, he's actually quite gentle.
So do you always try and do this at the same time every day?
Yep, so at the end of the day, we always bring them into the house, and giving these chunks is not only a good opportunity for us to be this close, but a chance to see some little wounds on him or anything like that. So I've noticed he's got a little bit of a tiny mark on his right eye.
Whoa, good tiger. So how high will he go?
Well, he can go pretty high, and I've got quite a long arm myself, so we'll see how high he can go.
Go for it. Whoa! Look at that. How tall do you think he is when he's up there like that?
Well, that was probably roughly about 10 foot, but they can reach even up to about 12 foot, so it's pretty incredible how high they can reach.
Oh, I'm in love, honestly.
Over the past week, Ponya, the underweight red panda cub, has been recovering from her examination at the vets, but the cause of her lack of growth is still a mystery. Today, keepers are hoping results from the blood tests will give her the all-clear to join a breeding programme and help save her critically endangered species.
A little bit worried, yeah. We're not quite sure what the results are going to say. So hopefully James has some good news for us. But whatever it is kind of depends on what happens next with Ponya, so it's quite a big step for her.
If the blood tests reveal a problem, it will be a major setback for the keepers and the conservation project. Vet James has arrived with the news.
None of the x-rays showed anything significant or anything to worry about. On the parasitology, we were looking at if she has any worms or other internal parasites, and that came back clear.
Okay, so there's nothing that's kind of taking her nutrition elsewhere?
Yeah, no worms that could be, exactly. So there's nothing significant to worry about, which is good news, but it's obviously frustrating because there's no underlying cause that we can find for the big discrepancy in weight between the two sisters.
So I guess my main question for you is, do you think she is healthy enough to travel with her sister to the new collection?
Yeah, we couldn't find any reason for her not to go on all of the physical exam and blood sampling that we did, so yeah, I think so.
Good, that's good news.
It's the best news and a huge relief for Head of Animal Adventure, Graham.
It's always that thing, you kind of want the vets to say, this is exactly what's wrong with her and here's how to fix it. But it didn't come back with anything, which is great. It's great because it means she's healthy, she's fighting fit, she can travel, the vets are happy to sign it off. And we think, genuinely, she's just a fussy eater.
A fussy eater who is now safe to travel with her sister Lakshmi to the breeding programme in Ireland, adding to the next generation of red pandas.
Hello, sweetheart. Oh, it's always really sad. Seeing their faces when you put them in the van is always what gets me. Hasn't quite hit me yet, but I'll probably have a little cry later when I realise that they're not here, or when we come in the morning and there's only 2 instead of 4. That's always quite a sad moment. But we have to remember it's for a good reason, and that's kind of what gets you through it when it's the sad times.
It's estimated there are less than 10,000 red pandas left in the wild. They are more endangered than the giant panda.
Yes.
And you are mad about these creatures and have been to see them in the Himalayas.
Yes, it's crazy. I mean, what's not to love about them? They definitely tick all the cute and fluffy boxes, don't they? But they are more endangered than the giant panda, which is unbelievable. So it's very important that we conserve these guys. They're totally unique and they're very special.
And speaking of endangered, how is Ponya getting on?
Ponya's doing great. She has gone to her new home. I've had a few pictures of my babies and they're growing up and getting on just fine. It's always a sad time for us, but it's great to hear that she's happy and healthy and doing what pandas should do.
And what about these two? We've got, is this AJ just behind us
here? This is Rafina. This is our female. She just snuck down, yeah.
Oh, coming to say hello. Now, you know, is there the possibility that they might have been breeding?
Yeah, they're very secretive, so we never know for sure.
Yeah.
There's a few signs. Obviously, we've got lots of fresh bamboo here, and she's being a little bit aloof at the moment, which is always a good sign that maybe something's up.
Oh, really?
So fingers crossed there might be some little panda feet soon.
Oh, that would be fantastic, Sam. Well, it's always a joy to be here. Always lovely to see these remarkable animals.
It's been 2 weeks since the arrival of Fang and Ko.
Not many window cleaners can say they've got that on the other side of their window.
The Cuban crocodiles are a new species for the park, and lead keeper John has been getting to know his ferocious new charges.
It's been a huge learning curve for me. It's been beyond a roller coaster.
The pressure's on, because Cubans are one of the world's most threatened crocs. Hunted for their skin and meat, in their Cuban homeland, they now inhabit just a small region of swamp. Historically, they measured up to 5 meters. At nearly 2 meters, what Fang and Ko lack in size, they sure make up for in attitude.
Obviously a highly intelligent species, really, really clever. They are one of the most aggressive species of crocodile.
Cuban crocs vie for dominance based on sex, size, and temperament. Both these two are females.
Those first couple of days were quite tense. They were sparring and a bit of scrapping. I'm still learning their different characters and different personalities. Fang is bigger, so that's an easy way to tell straight away. She's got the beautiful speckled lighter markings, and Ko is a little bit darker.
The squabbling will determine who's top croc.
Ideally, you want one to dominate the other one then backs down, and that's it. But we didn't have that. Both the ladies were quite stubborn. Neither of them wanted to back down. There's a little bit of dominance behaviour at the moment. Fang is sitting on top of Ko, so Ko's gone down to the bottom, and she's almost not fighting back. It's just a size thing, so it's almost working out who's the boss.
With Fang weighing 20% more than Ko, she seems to be emerging as ruler of this swamp.
It's great to see. You can read everything you want in a book, but to actually see the animals behaving and learning by what they're doing is so much more valuable.
Today, John's feeding the crocs for the first time. In the wild, they eat fish, turtles, small mammals and birds. Here, their nutrition comes from chicken.
Early signs, I would say they're not overly interested. The fact that Fang has still got her eyes closed and is still asleep. If they were starving hungry, I think Ko would have already been over. Oh, hello.
Suddenly, hunger strikes. These crocs can reach a staggering 32 kilometers per hour.
So Fang got that first one. There we go. And Ko got the second one. Incredible. I think the perfect demonstration of nothing, 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 and then bang, just that explosive acceleration they've got. It just shows you never taken for granted. Yeah, when you've got those two coming at you, that certainly gets the old heart pumping. Absolutely incredible to see the jumping ability of them and just how agile they are, how much they can push themselves out of the water, 0 to crazy in however many seconds.
Cuban crocodiles are known for their jumping ability, propelling themselves out of the water like pistons to grab prey from overhanging branches. Seeing a taste of their power firsthand has given John an idea.
I think if we want to see their full capabilities of jumping, we're going to have to look into a slightly different feeding method. Maybe looking at a pulley system or something that we can get the food up a little bit higher and then really see what they can do. I think they've got a lot more in their lockers to show us.
And we'll see how high these crocs can fly a little later in the series.
It's always a treat to be here, but to get close enough to stroke a white rhino is, I think, one of the highlights of being here, don't you think?
Yes, I'll never tire of these guys, and it's the fact that they're so friendly. And they love a massage. You are beautiful. Sadly, that's all we've got time for today, but here's what's coming up on the next Animal Park.
A young female suffers terrible injuries in a vicious family feud.
These wounds are getting a lot worse. I think we seriously have to think about euthanasia.
Kate's invited a friend for an experiment in monkey drive-through.
If that was human skin, that's now got a chunk. Take us around it.
And to ward off a deadly disease, it's medicine time for the park's mob of meerkats.
If I had the choice to pick between doing this with the meerkats or the lions, I think the lions would probably be more cooperative.